The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. The Knicks in Boston, always an adventure. Jaylen Brown, season-high 42. Mikal Bridges for the Knicks, career-high 8 threes, 35 points. Knicks down 18 to start the fourth quarter. They're within 3. Would we see a repeat of last year in the playoffs? No. Jordan Walsh made the most of his fourth quarter contributions, finished with 8 points, was key down the stretch there. And the Celtics win at 123-117. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. And what a crazy game.
Wow.
Bill Beto, Alan Hahn, Wally Zerbiak. Wally, so the Knicks outscored by 29 points combined in quarters 2 and 3.
Yep.
They're down 18 after 3, and they got within 3, and you're thinking, here we go again. But Boston was able to prevail.
Yeah, Boston just made a few key plays. They just manipulated matchups masterfully. I mean, that's what they did. They got the matchups they wanted. Once Jaylen Brown saw a smaller defender on him, he just went right at him. The way they dominated the paint, the way they dominated scoring in the mid-range, the way they shot twos, upwards of 75%.
36 of 47 Boston was from 2 tonight.
There you go.
36 of 47.
And I understand the Knicks are trying to defend the three-point line. Boston's a great three-point shooting team. They try to get a bunch up. But with this personnel, they are manipulating matchups in a much different way. They're being patient, trying to manipulate good shots. And defensively, their effort was outstanding starting in that second quarter. Knicks had a great first quarter, but then come the second quarter, Knicks had some holes when the guys came in off the bench. Those second and third quarters cannot happen if you want to beat a good team like the Celtics.
What did we say in the pregame? The Knicks are walking into something.
Yes.
Right? Like Joe Mazzulla was going to have this team ready. The Knicks saw them in the second game of the season. They were still trying to figure some stuff out in the beginning with no Jason Tatum, with different lineups, really a whole new roster. But of late, they have played a lot better, way more competitive. And while the game started out in Knicks' favor, knocking down threes, that second quarter was a physical quarter and a message-sending quarter by the Celtics to the Knicks, and the Knicks did not respond well. And that's another time now a team has played physical against the Knicks, and the Knicks have not handled it well.
Second quarter specifically, the Knicks were outscored 37-20. Third quarter, outscored 36-24.
Yep.
Down 18, as we mentioned. They almost came back. They were within 3 with 2:40 to go. Take us through the fourth quarter.
Well, yeah, it was Mikal Bridges just playing, just making unbelievable shots.
He was lights out.
Nobody else has it going here, so I'm going to just put the team on my back. Jalen Brunson, very uncharacteristic night. Shot the ball 6 for 21, and there were a lot of good looks. But Mikal Bridges just picked up the slack. Karl Anthony Towns, no answer for him, by the way. Celtics were playing small. They don't have a guy that could guard him. But Mikal just nailing those triples. Just nothing but the back iron, nothing but net. Just big-time play by
Jordan
him.
Walsh, by the way.
Huge key plays.
This guy is just effort plays. 2 big offensive rebounds that turn things. And the ball movement here, Wally, right? And that's, again, a big 3. Every time the Knicks were pushing and pushing, the Celtics had a good offensive possession. But, again, Mikal Bridges was just en fuego.
He was, and he just continued to look to be aggressive, which I loved. That's just a play by Jordan Walsh, who's not known for his scoring. Took 4 shots, made all 4 of them. Little miscommunication.
Heater.
Yep. Just keep knocking them down. That shot cut the lead to 3. But then off the inbounds, Jaylen got lost. There was no one to protect the rim. That pushed the lead up to 5. And then the Knicks just couldn't get any closer. It was a electric game, but one of the games where you could tell the Celtics came in and they said, we lost early on to this Knicks season, to the Knicks. We're a new team. We're going to show the Knicks that we're still around, despite the fact losing some personnel and having Jason Tatum being injured. And they came out on a mission, and they sent the Knicks a message that the Celtics are still the Celtics.
The Knicks made threes. They did what they like to do. They knocked their threes down, all that stuff. But the problem, you mentioned the shooting from 2. How about in the paint? Boston scored 56 points in the paint, 28 of 34. That's 82% in the paint. There's got to be more resistance than that, right, in the painted area. And the Knicks really got stretched out. And you said it. It's something in that second quarter that really almost was on repeat. Jaylen Brown got hot because he was seeking matchups.
Yep.
He was looking for Tyler Kolek, he was looking for Jalen Brunson, and he was looking for Karl Anthony Towns. That's all he was doing, and they were getting switches, and he got into a rhythm, and the whole game turned right there.
Jaylen Brown, guys, only had 4 points in the first quarter, finished with a season-high 42. Tonight's thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. As you mentioned, they just couldn't stop him. He had 38 points in quarters 2 through 4 out.
Yeah, he's running off screens, Wally, right? Like, that's just just, again, no resistance at the rim. Tyler Kolek, so it's a green light.
Is this a thrilling moment or five
This
thrilling
is a
moments?
chilling
I don't
moment.
want to see all these thrilling moments.
chilling.
It's supposed to only be one moment. And this is the moment that I'm going to remember.
Oh,
Just
my.
absolutely throwing it down on everyone in the Knicks uniform. Jalen Brunson switched on to Jaylen Brown the whole entire second quarter. Big problem
And
there.
here, watch, hand down, man down, right? You get
Big
you're
mismatch.
big on him.
In the first quarter, he had 4 points because he had Bridges on him the whole time. But then when the Knicks go to their bench, they're playing Josh Hart at the 4, excuse me, and then Mitch on an island again, looking like he's trying to guard Franz Wagner in that situation, which is a tough assignment for him. And Jaylen Brown just took advantage and got himself going. Look at those numbers. Outstanding
The fact
efficiency.
that all of it's within 2, right? 2 of 6 from 3. He really didn't kill you from 3, but it's everything he did inside the arc, and especially in the paint.
Celtics have now won 7 out of 9. Knicks hit the quarter pole. Hard to believe, 13-7. 13-7. 20 games already being played.
Yeah.
And the one thing I think we
3
can
and
say...
6 on the road. That's
10-1 at home, 3 and 6 on the road. The
the problem.
physicality of the opponent at times has been the problem.
We have noticed that. And the Knicks are going to see the Orlando Magic on Sunday. They've got 2 games coming up. They're back-to-back. So you got the Hornets and the Jazz. So you got 2 teams with a losing record. But you play this game, and they just showed you we're going to play you physical, and the Knicks don't like it. Orlando did the same thing to them. Chicago, you remember earlier in the season, did the same thing to them. They're hitting first. They have got to learn how to adjust to that kind of defense and that kind of physicality. It is something that they talked about. Toronto was doing it in the second quarter on Sunday, and a lot of the players after the game in the locker room when I was doing the interviews, they were all referencing that our physicality wasn't where it needed to be in that second quarter. They turned it up in the third quarter and second half, were able to win the game. They turned it up later in this game, but it was too late.
All right, let us now say hello to Monica McNutt. She's in Boston. She helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, what do you think about the physicality tonight being so important to the Celtics being able to beat the Knicks?
Yeah, I think you guys nailed it. But am I the only person that's not, like, alarmed? I mean, I caught the end of your conversation, so let me not put emotions on you. I actually thought this was a good game. I thought it was well played. Yes, were the Celtics more physical? Yeah, but OG Anunoby, Landry Shamet are unavailable. Jaylen Brunson had, I don't know, what, 40% of what you're accustomed to from a Jaylen Brunson in terms of performing when it matters. And, come on, y'all, the emotional charging here, like to start the game, Joe Mazzulla pregame tried to say that he didn't watch any of the series last year, right? Which we all know is an absolute lie. It was so emotional in here from the part of Boston. And frankly, look at the way that Jaylen Brown started the basketball game. Terribly. Now, give him his credit because he settled down and led the way. But I just think there was so much juice, so much emotion on the part of Boston. And that's what you saw in terms of the energy. I thought the Knicks actually did a decent job of matching the physicality. I agree with Han that maybe it came a little too late. But Mikal Bridges going 7 for 10 from the three-point line, like, that's a game that you typically win, if not for some, we'll call them outliers tonight in terms of other guys' performances, and not just Brunson. Over this 4-game win streak, the bench has been far more productive than it was tonight.
I'm with you, Monica. I think we were reminded of how hard it is to win at TD Garden in Boston. I mean, Knicks are getting accustomed to going up there and stealing games in the playoffs, but I just thought overall that that this Boston team was on a mission. They really were. They all 100%. The hustle plays, they got them. They went after the Knicks in a lot of different situations, and the Knicks are going to have. And the other concerning thing to me is the Knicks are small. And good teams are going to find a way to exploit mismatches when the Knicks are small at every position. And they come in the second quarter, Kolek, McBride, Josh Hart at the 4. Yes, Towns is out there, but it's not a big team. And you can get switches and you can go mouse in the house, and that's, I think, where the game turned because the Knicks don't have size at some positions. Yeah,
Monica is scolding us and taking some things out of context. But I love you for that because it is something it's game 20, and you knew, we said in pregame, what are the Knicks walking into tonight because you know it'll be emotional. The Celtics want to send a message, and it took a quarter for them to really get it going. But when I'm talking about the physicality part in that second quarter and the lack of response, like, to me, that's what I was concerned with because it's not the first time we've seen it. We've seen teams like Orlando, physical teams, will do this to them. Yeah. And that's, to me, the concern part because, as Wally said, they do play small lineups. They do want to play small and fast, and you got to be able to adjust if a team is going to try to push you around. Yeah. That's what I think the point we're trying to make there.
Yeah, and Han, I agree with you, because are you now getting tape of you being pushed around? And I think that's totally fair. But I do think tonight was a very unique experience, right? As this team gets healthy, I mean, OG Anunoby has no problem playing physical. I mean, for that matter, neither does Landry Shamet, while he doesn't necessarily present the same way physically. I also, guys, as the game was winding down, I thought back to what Mikal Bridges said. I guess that wasn't after shoot around, but prior to this game, in terms of going on the road, is when you really are going to have the opportunity to be tested. And so I thought tonight represents healthy adversity. There were points where I was like, gosh, I feel like last year in Atlanta when I was like, God, Atlanta's so big, because the Celtics were able to go big. I was actually surprised when I looked down and realized Peyton Pritchard actually played 30 minutes, because it felt like he played less, because they did a good job of hiding him and putting, you know, the Minots and the Walshes right out in front on the basketball, creating a lot of pressure. But frankly, Derek White got himself together. He's not been playing and shooting the ball that well either. And so he comes into this one and has a good game. It's a little bit of a perfect storm, but I think there's a lot of good to take away from this one. And when I say good, I mean things that you can look at, adjust, and grow through. Not necessarily things you'll pat yourself on the back floor, but good film to grow from.
And now Bridges said, what Monica's referencing is Bridges after the game against the Raptors said, having an attitude and grit to win on the road is more important to me.
Yeah. Well, Bridges had 30 of his 35 in the second half, career high 8 threes, so he did his part. Monica, thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. Knicks will host the Charlotte Hornets.
Sounds good.